Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Wednesday, May the 17th, 2023. Wednesday, May the 17th. Okay, I was a little bit wrong. Holly was talking to Felicia, but she didn't ask Felicia for the WSB hookup. It was actually Anna. She's talking to Anna, and Anna's letting her know, look, you trying to, that's what got you in trouble the first place. And Holly is talking about, of course, Ethan, and I've got to do it for my son. I've got to make large sums of money to cover his debt. Well, I ain't talking about that anymore because there's all sorts of wrong with that rationality. But okay, Holly. Okay. So anyway, it was so funny. Felicia and Mac were at the MetroCourt. And, they were having their little breakfast. And Mac is, for some reason, all worried about his brother Robert. Why isn't Robert calling him back? What's going on? I left messages for Robert, and whatever. So Felicia's like, I'm just glad I have quality time with my man. And so she's had her lips all puckered up across the table, and Mac's busy on his phone, like, what is Robert? And so she's like, Mac. It's so funny. She is something else. So then Diane walks by, and Mac's like, Diane, you're close to Robert. And Diane is like, fine clothes, And he goes, I've been trying to reach my brother. Do you know where he's at? Do you know? And she's like, well, actually, no, I don't keep track of him like that. We see each other in the courtroom. And so he's just, he got a call from the station and he decides he has to leave. So Holly asked Diane to sit down with her. No, not Holly. Felicia asked Diane to sit down with her and they have a talk. And, of course, Felicia's talking about Robert and Holly. They have such a history and oh, this, that, and the other. They're my friends and they've been my friends for 30 years. And so Diane is just looking at her like, look, you don't have to be preaching Holly's case. That's up to them. I don't compete, right? And so the funny thing is, right at the end, when they're ending their conversation, Felicia says, I say that to say this. Holly and Robert, they're kind of on different sides, and they always have been, and she ended up telling Diane that she felt Diane and Robert had more in common. They're both on this side of the law, right? And Diane was just kind of like, wow, I didn't see that little twist coming, So anyway, we have Selena Wu. I foresee everybody within the next 6 months. I foresee there being some kind of showdown between Sunny and Wu. Selena is making some obvious, subtle moves that Sunny's going to find out about. And Selena's big mistake is enlisting Gladys in this. Gladys is going to be the one that tips Sunny off that Wu is up to something. It's going to be Gladys, definitely, because Gladys is just, she has nothing. There's no coof to her, no savviness, anyway. She comes to see Curtis and she's telling Curtis, yeah, that no, now that Curtis, he's on people's radar. Like I said, the WSB, I was wondering, because he left his phone up, which was intentional. The camera kept showing his phone was still up and you could still see that last call was from the WSB. Normally, people, when you're in a public place, especially when somebody like Selena Wu walk up on you, you turn your phone over, because you stay out of my business, okay? Stay out of it, right? So she's telling him, look, I have contacts in the lab still. And he goes, yeah, I know your nephew used to work there. She's like, I still have contacts in that lab. She says, I can make that DNA test turn out any way you want it to. And Curtis looks at her and is like, what on earth could you be talking about? She says, no, Trina Robinson. You would be proud. Any man would be proud to call Trina Robinson their daughter. But on the other hand, you may not want to be tied down. You might want to be free, have your freedom to pursue what you want to pursue. And he's looking, he goes, Selena, you stay out of that the DNA test. You do not get involved in that. Right? And I'm thinking, is Selena Wu going to get involved with that anyway? Because he says, look, I know exactly how this works. If I allow you to do this favor for me, whatever you think this favor is, oh, then I would owe you something. He says, no, thank you. The DNA test is going to be what the DNA test is going to be. Have it your way. You know, we'll see. Selena's always got, I don't know, we getting a lot of Selena Wu mixed into a lot of things right now, even though I kind of like her. You know, I really honestly do. She would love to take the Savoy over 100% and have it hers. She would love that. But Curtis happily handed her, here is your tab for last night. Here's your bill. And I was thinking that he should have said, and where's my cut? Where's my take of it? Right? Because she does give him a take of it. So we have Esme. Esme and little baby Ace. She has her backpack and the baby. She's ready to walk out. And Alexis is there with Laura. And they're like, Esme, honey, where you going? Anywhere but here, away from here. And so she goes, I'm sick and tired of being in a house where everybody is looking at me, waiting for me to make a mistake. Oh, she's just going on and on. But she was going to take her. But now that the charges have been dropped, the PCPD dropped the charges against her. And I thought, when did that happen? When did they drop the charges? Okay, they know she's not the hook killer. I get that. But as far as revenge porn, drugging, attempted murder on us, Haggerty, and whatever else they had Esme for. What you mean? All Spencer did or Trina did was agree to have them postpone that part, though it better not be dropped, right? She goes, I could go anywhere and do what I want. And then Laura says, well, what money? I have a trust fund. And Laura says, but trust fund, honey, that you can't touch. See, for me, what Laura should have done, seriously, is said, okay, let me kiss my grandson goodbye. Right? Let me kiss baby Ace goodbye. Kiss her grandson. Oliver, get away from me. He's up here trying to put his nose against my leg, trying to tell me something in dog language. But anyway, so anyway, I would let her say, okay, go on and go. Because Esme don't have $20 to her name in her purse. You go set foot out my door and do what? You can barely get yourself dinner. But forget about getting yourself dinner, Esme. Go buy some baby formula. $20 will not even cover baby formula. It's so doggone expensive nowadays. And don't think about a box of diapers. Wow. Okay? They need to call that bluff. And the bluff is, okay, well, you know what? Let me know where you land. Let us know where you land. because she won't go far, right? So Alexis ends up offering her a job. She has a receptionist job open, and she would like to offer that to Esme. And Esme looked at her and said, wait, I'll be answering phones? And Alexis says, oh, I'm sorry. What college degree do you have? And Esme's just standing there. What work experience do you have? And Esme couldn't say anything. So she says, then I do believe a receptionist position fits your resume. You know, girl, you starting from the bottom because you ain't here. You know, gee. And so Esme, baby Ace started crying. So she goes to check on Ace. And Laura's talking to Alexis. You know, she's worried, you know, oh my goodness, she doesn't want Esme to walk out the door with her grandbaby and blah, 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 blah. You know, and it's volatile and whatever. So Esme comes back in because, you know, we get the whole, I don't trust this. And I stop it, girl. Ain't nobody trust you more than they could see you. Okay, you saying you don't remember, but anybody don't need to be trusted in any scenario is Esme. So she comes back in and she says she'll take the job. And Laura and Alexis was shocked that she made the sensible decision. So Laura walks out the room for some reason. I forget what it was. And Alexis was talking to Esme and she told her the job came with healthcare benefits and it came with daycare. And so she goes, so I can bring Ace to work with me? I won't have to leave Ace with Laura and Spencer? And Alexis is like, yep, you can bring him to work with you. So, oh, she hugged Alexis like you wouldn't believe. And I thought, boy, did she luck up. Because there are very few jobs out there that you could bring your baby to work. Very few. But the invader of all things, you know, it has daycare there. So, wow, okay, great. So now we have Portia. Portia is meeting with Ava, trying to convince Ava to side with her, to, you know, separate Trina from Spencer. Ava listens to her because Ava says, you know, I'll do anything for Trina. But then she hears what the plan is and she said, Portia, I've been watching Spencer. He's changed. He is maturing. He is not like his uncle at all. And Portia had the nerve to say, no, he's more like your ex-husband. He's more like his father, Nicholas. He's more of a chip off of Nicholas's block. And I sat there and I thought, well, Portia, that shows how much you know about Nicholas. Because Nicholas and Spencer are nothing alike. Nothing alike. Okay? And so Ava says, well, no, Spencer has changed even from when, you know, he first came to Port Charles, and Trina has a lot to do with that. Well, I'm not going to let my baby grow. I'm that. And I would have thought you of all people would be willing to work with me. And Ava's like, how so? Well, because of, you know, you being involved with the Cassadines. And Ava said, well, you know, it's true. It's true. Goodness, in hindsight, wish I had never gotten involved, but life doesn't work that way. I'm just saying, give Spencer a chance, and I will not get involved because I won't alienate Trina from me. She says, and I'm going to tell you something, Portia, because I had an estranged relationship with my daughter. And that's my biggest regret, because my Kiki and she died estranged from me. She said, don't push Trina away any more than she already is. And I fear, Portia, if you try to act against Spencer, make a move against Spencer, it's not going to go well for you. So Portia just looks at her. You know, Portia, everybody that doesn't say what she wants to say, she just looks at him. Well, I don't want to alienate it, but in her mind, she's thinking, who else can I go to? Because I'm still not having it, right? Whatever. Portia, you do you. But she told Ava, Nicholas has had 18 years ingraining that type of behavior into Spencer. And I thought, yeah, here you go again. Here you go again, not knowing anything about the situation. Nicholas was presumed dead for 3 years, right? Or 3. Spencer's been gone. Nicholas has not been in, and plus they aged him, so we might as well throw in some extra years, because Spencer shouldn't be the age he is. But Nicholas has not influenced Spencer's upbringing whatsoever. That poor child was influenced by the headmaster at the boarding school, you know, and whatever crowd, and Esme, and because, you know, no parental guidance whatsoever. He was sent away to boarding school. That ain't on Nicholas. As far as, oh, he was learning from his father. You know nothing, Portia. You know nothing about their relationship. Anyway, I just shake my head when I see her. So we have Robert. He goes to the Savoy, and as he's coming down the stairs, he hears Wu talking to he hears Wu talking to Holly, saying, our last venture, it went well. Don't you agree? And they're kind of chuckling to each other. And Robert's thinking, what last venture? And also it's coming back into Robert's head what Anna was talking to him about. You know, one difference between Diane and Holly is you might have to be prosecuting Holly for crime. You know, that won't happen with Diane. The worst thing you're gonna do is you and Diane are in opposing, you know, on opposing sides in a courtroom, right? And it's true. So let's see. We also have everybody's meeting at the hospital to take the DNA test. They are showing up there. They all are getting these envelopes, and we find out the envelopes are inviting them to the reading of Victor Cassadine's will. So we shall see what bombshells is going to happen with that. I tell you what I would like to happen. I would like somehow whatever Victor has in his will negates the fact that Ava has Spoon Island. To me, Spoon Island should absolutely not be Ava's. That should be Spencer's legacy. I could see Spencer living there. So we shall see. We'll see what kind of surprises Victor has in store, you know, for everybody at the reading of this will. But anyway, that's it. That's it for Wednesday's episode of General Hospital. I will be back to do Thursday, May 18th, daily recap of General Hospital.